Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for Tuesday the 19th of November.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
And a very happy Tuesday to G Lane.
Oh, great to be here. Great to be here on a Tuesday.
Feels like summer today.
It does. I've got the dogs out.
Yeah, you do.
I got the dogs out. I got the shorts. I got the Birkenstocks on.
Yeah.
It had a vibe to it this morning. I caught the ferry to work.
Oh.
It was glassy. There was not a cloud in the sky. I almost felt like crushing a beer on the ferry, but they don't serve before 10. It's just disappointing.
I know, but I mean, why do they not serve before 10? How sloshed could you possibly get on a half-hour ferry ride?
I'm not sure it's just a good look. And when I was a youngster, this is another story, on the Devonport ferry, when they used to have the Kia. If you've been to Auckland, the Kia was this kind of ferry that had two fronts and it would just go backwards and forwards.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't have to reverse or come out. And it was quite slow and it had a bar at the top. And when I used to live over in Devonport in my 20s, my heyday, we used to have a competition about how many beers you could drink between
on the ferry.
And it was only 15 minutes. But you've got to get up to the bar straight away, order the beer while it's still boarding. And then they won't let you biff it. So you got to turn around and you do 2 big gulps, put it in the recycle bin, order 2 more.
Yeah.
Try and nick as much as that one, then back to your table. And I think we got 4 in.
Right, 4's about par.
Yeah.
For a competitive drinker. So
yes.
you want to have one down before boarding's finished,
yes,
right?
Yeah, before it leaves the dock, you've got to be at least 1 down. And then you've got another 15 minutes to climb through 3. But you've got to do it without being spotted by the bar manager.
That's right. So you're going to want a busy commute so that other people are hiding what you were up to.
Correct. And then lining up. Usually it's a Friday afternoon is when things get a bit funky.
Yeah.
And we also used to use the Kia as a speed dating scene, because on a Friday night, we would sit up in the bar and it would go from Devonport to Auckland and we'd just try and meet people up in the bar area upstairs.
Right. Come here often.
Yeah, and what are you guys up to tonight? Where are you headed? And then if we didn't get any bites, we'd just stay on the ferry and come back to Devonport and wait for a new load.
Oh, the loser cruises.
So me and my mate Rama Lama Ding Dong, we used to sit up the top of that ferry and go backwards and forwards until someone was dumb enough to tell us where they were going and asking us if we wanted to come. And we'll go, hell yeah, we'll go to Degree with you, or we'll go to Providore or some other shithole in the Viaduct.
Oh yeah, mates. Oh, this is Grot and Rama. We just found
Luckily, Hawk and Rat went with us, which my other mates.
There's old Landfill and Ramroad. They're going to come with us.
I remember we did actually, someone introduced us as that, and a girl went, what is this, a fucking zoo? And we're like, okay, this is not going to go well.
I can just picture you guys, because the naval base is over there too.
Yeah.
You never close your eyes anymore.
And we had a mate in the Navy too, old Hoggy.
You've lost that love and feeling.
All we needed was a piano up there on the top of the Kia. Anyway.
Take those old records off the shelf. Oh, Grot and Rammer on the Devonport Express.
And we never pulled. Not fucking once.
Oh, shit. Because everyone on there's going somewhere.
I know. Fuck. It was useless anyway.
When I kiss your lips. I don't think that's ever worked. Me and Gus tried that at the Sail and Anchor in Timaru. It didn't work either. Hey, backyard cricket. We're talking about summer. Feels like it's here. Everyone's going to be playing BYC this summer, and we at the ACC have finally done something about it for you. We're bringing out our own classic range of BYC equipment, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Finally here, the ACC BYC range.
Yeah, we've partnered with Rebel Sport and Silver Fern Sports, and we're bringing out, we've got a whole range. So first of all, we've got the straight-up plastic Kiwi cricket set.
Your yellow plastic
cricket set. And the thing with that is everyone must have one.
Yeah.
And for that, we've got a bit of a charity angle on that, and the fact that every set you buy, one gets donated to charity. Oh. So, I mean, no one's making any money off this, trust me. So you buy one of those sets and we gift one to charity, and it gets distributed by the Tanya Dalton Foundation and another charity to schools and communities. So that's the first one.
Yep.
It's just the straight up set. However, we've introduced something, I wouldn't say controversial, but I think it's going to be popular.
It is going to tear families apart in the backyard this season. What I would say is 6 and out needs to be mandatory for all backyard cricket games around the country this summer. We've released the Punisher.
It's
what we're calling it.
It's a backyard cricket bat, a plastic mould. It's hollow, but it is the size of a David Warner Kookaburra T20 bat.
Yeah.
It is, I'd say, I don't know, 15 to 20 centimetres thick at its biggest point.
Yeah.
It is a weapon. And when you time it just in a block, it flies.
Yes.
So if you roll out into the backyard with the Punisher this summer, people will laugh. They'll laugh. They'll only laugh once.
Yeah. They'll laugh until they cry.
Yeah, and then you pump them into the sub canopy, and then they won't be laughing.
Everyone that buys one should get like a letter that they can hand out to their neighbours. Like, hey, just so you know, I've got the ACC's Punisher, so tape your windows up because I'm going for it.
Yeah, we'll get a video up of the Punisher. It's almost a comedy bat.
Yeah,
but it's
almost.
It is a comedy bat. But go into your Rebel Sport and check it out, the whole backyard cricket range. So there's wooden sets, there's the little Punisher and the mini Punisher. So you can get the little ones, but the big Punisher is the one you want.
Yeah.
Range of balls, we've got the swing ball pre-taped for you. We've got the training ball. We've got the kind of semi-hard ball that'll kind of, if you get on the front prawn and it hits you in the shin, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
We've got the soft plastic one that's probably ideal for just pinning your young nephews and nieces.
There's one with the actual seam on it, right?
Yeah, there's a harder one for kind of an open wicket situation.
Yeah.
And they're good, and they've got instructions on all of them of what the balls do. So exclusive to Rebel Sport. Ideal stocking stuffers.
Yeah, 3-pack of balls with the swing ball, the soft ball. So head into Rebel Sport, have a go, and then like you said, for every one that you buy, another one will be donated. You have to have, every New Zealander has to have a plastic backyard cricket set.
Yeah, you do, and they get totaled as well. So you got to replace them. Text sport to 3236. You'll get a direct link to all the kit, and check it out, especially the Punisher. The Punisher is, I'm picking that's going to sell out. I would get there quick with the Punisher.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hottest item you'll ever see. You roll into a music festival if you're camping and you've got the Punisher.
Oh my God. It's the only bat I would consider taking around to someone else's house.
Yeah.
Showing up with your own backyard cricket bat is a power move. And when you've got the Punisher, it would make so much sense. Everyone would be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Old Uncle Lane's showed up with his own bat to Christmas.
And you need to pull it out of a bag as well. You need to turn it into a ceremony.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sport to 3236 to check that out. And just go and do it now, and then that's all your Christmas shopping done for the year.
And you got the ACC book.
Yeah.
Look out for the Black Friday special coming up for that, because it's going to be a ripper. And I think that would probably do 2 or 3 people. After
the Golden State Warriors cleaned us out of hats, we just received a new shipment this morning.
They've just come in. So we've got hats and galore as well.
Yeah.
So, easy.
Just quickly before we take a break, the World Rugby Award nominations have come out, and we're going to go through this quickly because we have not been nominated for many. We didn't get one in the World Rugby Men's 15s Player of the Year.
Who would you have put in there, though? Who would you have put forward?
Well, this is the thing. So this covers the World Cup last year, does it?
Yeah, yes, I presume so.
Or would last year's one have mopped that up?
I guess this is 2024.
Yeah. So
only this year, actually.
You're right. I don't know. Maybe Adi Savia, but they've got Caelan Doris, the Irish fella, Eben Itza, Peter Steph Detroit, and Cheslin Colby, which makes me think that it covers the
World Cup.
Because those guys were outstanding.
No Dupont.
No Dupont. He was nominated for the Sevens Player of the Year, which I think he's won hands down. He was outstanding in that Sevens campaign at the Olympics. Michaela Blyde and Georgia Miller both nominated for the Sevens as well. We did get a man in the men's 15s Breakthrough Player of the Year, Wallace Sititi.
Oh, side titty. Well, it must just be this year then.
Yeah.
It must be just this year. I just looked at his. I don't know who Jamie Osborne, never heard of him. But I see Emmanuel Fayo-Waboso. He had a pretty outstanding year. Was that his first year of international rugby?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay, well,
he was excellent.
Side titty might be up against it, because I think Waboso may take that out.
Yeah, and Sasha Feinberg Ngomazulu from the Republic of South Africa.
I don't know. I couldn't name you who that was. Was that one of the bomb squad or something?
I thought Sasha Feinberg was an actor of some sort. Am I thinking of Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so those are the awards. I think I think Wallace Satiti would be up there. I mean, when those Welsh guys accosted us in Amsterdam, all they wanted to talk about was Wallace Satiti. He's a good rugby player.
They were hammered too.
I sort of lost the accent there.
Yeah.
All Whites have edged Samoa in a gripping game, 8-0.
And I love how people, commentators are saying, a good game because it didn't blow out too much. Are they expecting a 20-0 or a 30-0?
I mean, it was 3-0 at half time, so, I feel like I don't think they left anything out there,
So All Whites, this is our path to the
Greatness.
FIFA World Cup in America, Canada and Mexico. Is we've got Fiji next.
Yeah, and then Vanuatu.
Or Tahiti.
So, who do you think wins that, Tahiti or Vanuatu?
I don't know, Tahiti, I think.
Yeah.
Vanuatu.
The turbos, the verbos.
Tahiti will probably win that, I imagine.
You think?
I think a bit more Frenchies than Tahiti.
Who they got?
Dave?
Yeah, Dave goes hard, to be fair.
I don't know. But you've got to say, that is a pretty good path to the FIFA World Cup for the All Whites.
Why did Aussie leave our pool?
Because at the time, it was easier in Asia than it was coming through Oceania and South America, because they lumped us in with South America. And they're like, fuck playing Colombia or Mexico every time to qualify.
Yeah.
And they went, we'd back ourselves to beat, because in Asia is the Middle East as well. So they, you got the Bahrains and the Saudis and stuff. So the Australians are like, and I think from the Asia group, I think the top 4 go through. So you got to. You can come fourth and still go through, whereas Oceania, you got to win, and then you play the 5th place South American team, which is usually a weapon of a team, because they're so good at football.
Right.
So
what? So if we win this whole thing, then do we still have to play a South American?
Nah, we're straight in.
Now? Yeah, great.
This is they've changed it, so we automatic qualification from Oceania.
Hell yeah,
and we will be at the FIFA World Cup again in America as well, Canada, Mexico. And the stadiums they're playing at are mean.
Are they like college football stadiums and shit? Yeah. So
and some mean cities as well. So target that. If you haven't been to a FIFA World Cup, I went to the one in Germany. It is mean.
Yeah.
You'll never experience anything like it.
So we don't have to play the Middle Eastern teams?
Nah.
Okay, good.
Nah, none of that.
I'm surprised. I have seen some football pitches in the Middle East that would shock and appall you. They are like on rock beds with just 2 goals set up at each end.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone playing on them, but I was like, geez, imagine the kids that are...
Is that through Oman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's like Central Otago, just on a bed of schist.
Yeah, it's just a dry...
imagine?
It's the old dry waddy beds, eh? They just set a couple of posts. Yeah. Go for it.
It truly is the global game. A hat-trick to New Zealand's greatest ever athlete, Chris Wood. He scored 3 of the best last night as well at Go Hard Stadium. So, All Whites advance. And one step closer to the Rugby World Cup. The Football World Cup. I have come across a startling fact that will shock you to your core, and it regards cricket and music. And I will regale you with this after the break.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. No. We'll be right back. The White Stripes album, Elephant.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
It came out in 2003. It is the one that had Seven Nation Army on it. It sold one of the all-time sports chants as well.
Oh, and Beerfest chants.
Beerfest chants. Oh, yeah, it was too. And one of the first songs that you learn on guitar.
Yeah.
If you ever pick up a guitar. It came out in 2003. It sold 4 million copies worldwide. And the cover, fun fact, had a cricket bat on it. I did not know that until I heard about it this morning. So I went and had a look at it. Sure enough, there's Jack White sitting on a cricket bat, on a thing with holding a cricket bat. John Baker was a Kiwi bloke. He was the tour manager for the White Stripes, and he'd been playing beach cricket during the summer holidays, as everyone's about to with the ACC BYC kit, with one of his cousins. And then he ended up taking the bat. It was a Kookaburra, I think it was Kookaburra Fisher or something. This is in 2003, remember? He took the bat with him back to Detroit. Bat ended up with him in the studio with Jack White. Jack White found the bat and put it on the cover of the album to symbolise an elephant tusk. The way he's sitting, he's holding it, and it looks like an elephant tusk.
Yeah.
The cousin that John Baker was playing with was none other than Kane Williamson. Kane Williamson's bat is on the cover of the White Stripes' most successful album, Elephant.
What? That is the most bizarre kind of degrees of separation.
It's like when we first heard about it, we were like, that's not true. That it wasn't on. Kane Williamson's bat wouldn't have been on there. First of all, 2003. How old would Kane Williamson have been? About 10, 12?
Yeah.
It was
very young.
Yeah. And so, yeah, turns out there's a Kiwi connection. Their tour manager back in the day, John Baker, he had it. He just happened to leave it in the studio. It ends up on the cover of one of the most successful rock albums of all time, and it is Kane Williamson's bat. How's that for a bit of trivia?
That's a great pub fact.
Yes.
It's a great pub fact to just blow you. And then everyone will get on their phones.
Like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did this morning.
That's what my fucking kids do to me at home. I get fact checked every time, and most of my facts are completely made up.
Yeah.
Hey Siri. I'm like, oh, fuck Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. That one will check out.
That one will check out because that's exactly what we did this morning. We heard this. It may or may not pop up in a promotion we're running across summer. That fact.
So well, you got a head start.
You've got a head start now if you've listened to this podcast. So we were checking through that, and then we saw this fact. We're like, it wasn't on. It was never Kane. When would Kane Williamson's bat have been on a fucking album cover? Sure enough, Elephant, 2003, 4 million copies. Kane Williamson's bat is the tusk and the elephant. Ridiculous. Speaking of Kane Williamson, and that, for those of you young broadcasters out there, is known as a segue. He has been interviewed off the back of Tim Southey's announcement that he's going to retire.
Yeah. And
Kane Williamson said, yeah, look, I'm probably closer to the end of my career than to the start.
Well, he was about 4 years ago.
Yes, that's right. He is getting older. But when, I just wanted to jump way ahead of ourselves here. When he does retire, is he on the Mount Rushmore of batsmen?
100.
Yeah.
He is New Zealand's best batsman. Statistically, he is. So he would be the first head carved. I know that everyone's got a bit of a white on for Martin Crowe, and yes, potentially if Martin Crowe had played as much Test cricket as Kane Williamson, sure. But he is the first head you carve.
When you carve the other, so he's in there. Then are you putting Martin Crowe in there?
Yeah, Martin Crowe has to be in there. I think Ross Taylor is in there.
Ross Taylor has to be in there because when you look up the total amount of international runs, he's right at the top there.
Yeah.
He scored more than anyone else. Then it gets a bit squirrely, I think. Does Stephen Fleming go in there in that fourth spot?
I think you've got to look. There's going to be some people that are going to look back into the kind of 50s and 60s kind of and say that, look, these players were just as talented, just didn't have the opportunities, whereas this current generation plays so much, well, compared to them, not as much as England and Australia and India, play a lot more.
Yeah.
So there'll be like, I'm trying to think of some old school. There'll be people that go, no, you can't forget this guy and this guy. But in my head and in my experience,
in your heart,
in my heart,
in your balls.
it goes Williamson, Taylor, Crowe, and then
Guptill?
No. I mean, look. Oh shit! Are we doing all formats? I was just thinking tests. Oh, if we just go tests, then yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm probably putting Fleming.
Baz?
I'm probably putting Fleming in there.
Yeah.
Baz. I mean, Test cricket. Baz was great, but
300.
But if we go for entertainment, all forms, you're going Guptill, Baz, Astle, and Chris Cairns.
Roger Toos, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of Roger Toos. Yeah, there's going to be some nufties. It's probably a question you should pose to the BYC podcast.
Yes.
Because I'd say Dylan Cleaver and Paul Ford would go balls deep in this.
Yes.
And argue about it. And get quite a lot of correspondence that doesn't involve fuck South Canterbury.
Yes, well, we've done the exact same thing. So last week after Tim Southey said that he was retiring, and again, for those of you young broadcasters out there, this is another segue. We were talking about the Rushmore of Bowlers when we heard that he was retiring. And so we put that out on social media, and there's been some great suggestions. We missed a lot of bowlers out there, Lane.
Yeah, okay, go for it. Hit me.
Richard the Groin.
I love the groan.
Robert Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Brooke Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Haslam.
Yep.
What does Mark Haslam bowl?
He's spin. He's a spin bowler.
Murphy Saw has got a lot of nominations.
For the Rushmore? Is this for the... what category are we looking at
Mount Rushmore of New Zealand bowlers.
Okay. Okay, so there's a little bit of irony flowing through here.
Murphy Saw.
Yeah.
Seth Rance. Someone here has come through. Hadley, Chatfield, Vittori, Bond.
Chatfield, I love Chatfield, but he's not one of our greatest bowlers. He was a great player and a great servant, and you'd have to say partner in crime with Hadley, but I don't know if you'd be on Rushmore.
Because if Hadley wasn't as good as Hadley was, would Chatfield have been perceived to be that good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he was just out there by himself plugging away?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think because you think Hadley and Chatfield, you know?
And Bond, you can't leave Southey's on the Rushmore. Hadley's on there. Vittori's on there. I guess the next one is it Bolt or is it Bond? I'd have to say Bolt. Because Bond didn't quite get a crack in the rest of his career.
Well, and this is the age-old debate about the Mount Rushmore. Is it longevity or is it apex? Because apex, you would probably say Bond.
Oh, I say at the height of his power.
Because he was tearing up that awesome Australian team. When they were, the big swinging dicks of world cricket, he was ripping them to bits. But it didn't last.
No.
So would you rather have the wildest, minute and a half of your life, or would you rather go all night?
Well, then we look at the Whakamana Express then, because he's bowling quicker than Bond.
Yeah.
And when he's on fire, doing hat tricks. It's good scoring hat tricks.
Do a hat trick.
Who else got some suggestions there?
Yes, more suggestions came through. Michael Mason. I couldn't point Michael Mason out of a lineup.
Oh, he's got a big, great schnoz. I think you recognise him.
Big
He looks like an Easter Island statue.
Brent Arnell.
Jesus.
And then someone said the Mount Rushmore of NZ cricket party is Chris Pringle, in brackets beer, Jesse Ryder, shots, Ken Rutherford, wine, Dion Nash, South African chronic.
Well, you've left the latest one off.
Yes, that's right.
Because I think you could probably replace Ken Rutherford, wine. I mean, look, you've got Jeff Howard, gin as well. He would be up there. He's not really known for his gin.
Yeah. There's a lot in there, and there is the most recent addition to that potential Mount Rushmore as well. And by the way, kids, this is a masterclass of segues. Former Black Caps bowler Doug Bracewell has been handed. They'll study this in radio school. Yeah. Has been handed a 1-month ban from cricket for having been found to have used cocaine. Bracewell tested positive for cocaine and its metabolite benzoylecgonine after a Super Smash domestic T20 match between the Stags and the Firebirds in January. It was accepted he had used cocaine out of competition and for reasons unrelated to sports performance. No shit. According to a statement from the Sport Integrity Commission. Or SICK.
So he got a 1-month ban. He got taken down from 3 months because he went to rehab or went to a counselling session or whatever. And he served and he served it in April. Not a lot of cricket going on in April.
Nah.
Also, this is a lesson, ladies and gentlemen, because it's now November.
Yeah.
This happened in January. He was suspended in April, and it's now come out. And this is a lesson, people, and pay your bills, okay? Because what's happened here is New Zealand cricket have lapsed on their whitewash investigations retainer. And what do whitewash do to send a message?
They release it.
They release it because obviously whitewash had come along here and they had done extremely well to keep this quiet for up to 7 months, 8 months.
That's right.
And no one knew about it and no one was going to know about it until that automatic payment didn't come through on the 15th of October. And
right.
whitewash are like, you can't do that shit.
For anyone who's unfamiliar with whitewash investigations, these are the guys who managed to sweep almost every major sporting scandal under the rug.
Yep.
Most notably known for their work around the Hawke's Bay winning the Ranfurly Shield.
Yes.
And you made a good point before about Bracewell and the team he plays for, right?
Central Districts.
Which covers
Hawke's Bay. See, now we're talking. Now we're talking conspiracies.
Yeah.
Where was Dougie when Hawke's Bay were looking after the Shield?
That's right.
Was he responsible for some of that resin?
That's right. And if he was, do we need to go and test the samples again? So this is what happens. This is what I keep saying. This is a subscription service, whitewash investigations. It's not a one-time payment and everything goes away because they still have the dirt on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have got the biggest arsenal of takedowns ever. So once you're in, you're stuck with them.
Yes.
That's the brilliant business model of whitewash.
Yes.
They've got so much on everybody.
Yeah.
That at any one time they can take down an entire team, an entire organisation.
That's right. And one payment's not sweet because they've still got all the digital copies of all of the evidence for everything you've ever done.
Yeah.
So this is a subscription service and the subscription gets heavier and heavier and the consequences are dire. And this must have been the first missed payment.
Yeah.
Because this one was relatively minor.
Yeah, absolutely. They've probably got so much more.
Yeah.
So much more. And they've this is a shot across the bow to New Zealand cricket to say, start that AP back up or more will flow.
Well, Chris Cairns gets it again.
Yeah, or we release his bank statements. Not that anything went through the bank. It was mainly cash.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So I'm looking forward to seeing Dougie Bracewell in the Big Bash Super Smash this summer.
There's been some good sledging that's going to go on, though.
Oh, yeah.
Surely. There'll be little baggies thrown onto the good length.
Definitely,
Like,
yeah.
just a length here and someone just drop an empty little baggie on the...
Just sniffing around short of a line. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
A whole host of voicemails to get through today, so we hit the phone lines now. Caller, yours, please.
Yeah, I once shat myself on a bus from Glasgow out into the country, but the bus had the entire wedding party, and I was seated next to the groom.
Oh.
So yeah, I had to sit on my own feces for an hour and a half until we got there. Yeah, it was fucking grim. It was a real low moment, that one.
Oh, that does sound low.
Yeah.
That sounds low because I can imagine he would have stunk as well.
Oh, what, the guy shit himself on the bus?
Yeah.
I reckon he might have.
Surely the groom's like, do you just
Oh
shit
my
yourself?
God. And this is what I was saying about that woman who shit herself while she was running the triathlon or whatever she was doing. It's like, if I shit myself, that's the end of my day. I'm not carrying on. Like, what did that guy do? Did he clean himself up and then go to the wedding? I presume they were going...
Well, he sounds like it because obviously the wedding was in Glasgow and the aftermatch was an hour and a half out
Yeah.
because he had the whole wedding party on a bus.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. An hour and a half, that's uncomfortable.
Long time. And then no respite once you get to wherever you're going.
Nah,
Because what are you going to do?
Yeah, I can imagine it would have dried up, but he would have had to proper clean up too.
Ditch the undies. And I think we kind of glossed over it while we were in Munich, but one of the guys shit themselves. We did just gloss over the top of it.
Yeah, he fell out a bit of an accident, but
Yeah.
he was a bit sick. He did say he was struggling a little bit with his bowels.
He was doing well to even be there.
Yeah.
But we'd made jokes before that about, geez, you wouldn't want to shit yourself in a lederhosen because how do you wash it?
Yeah, he found out a way. he took it to the laundromat.
Phil will tell you.
Yeah, Phil will tell you.
You know what, in hindsight, that's why when I took my clothes to the laundromat, that woman goes, Mamma mia, because she'd just seen Phil the night before. It's like, oh, fuck, not another one of these guys. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I hope that that's lifted a little bit of a weight off your chest for sharing that. I hope. This might be the first time anyone's found out about that. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Hey boys, at the V8 Motor Games. Kiwis are doing shit.
Oh, yeah.
Out with a concussion in motor games. Interesting. Fuck South Canterbury.
How good's that?
yeah.
How good's the sound effects of a V8 hooning past someone? Must be in Adelaide or something. I think the Adelaide V8s were on potentially.
You're asking the wrong person, but it was an interesting point that he raised that one of the blokes had to be removed for a concussion. I don't know how you get a concussion in the car, but
I do. Crashing into the wall.
Oh yeah.
So, that's probably you probably suffer the worst concussion in a motor vehicle.
Yeah, that'd add up.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
you don't really want to be driving concussed because you get a bit. I mean, you get a bit of blurred vision, a bit of depth perception issues.
I had a friend who got a concussion at netball. One day she was trying to drive me and her were going back home, and she just took the wrong exit off the motorway in Wellington. We ended up in fucking Upper Hutt. And she was like, I thought this was where we were supposed to go. I was like, what?
Get out of the car.
Get out of the fuck. Give me the keys. So I can completely understand why you wouldn't want to drive concussed, but I appreciate the pit lane access that we're getting.
I think that's, in terms of yours pleases, that's the best atmospheric yours please we've had.
We've had a couple of dudes like in the toilets at a stadium while the Kiwis are playing, things like that, but no, that was the best.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of access you get here on the Agenda podcast. Another caller here. We go back to the phones. Yours, please.
Hey fellas, bit of a conspiracy theory here.
Oh yeah.
Manaia,
Hi.
I'm getting a lot of advertisements for the Waitaki district. I know it's geolocation, but on your podcast it's just full of advertisements for the Waitaki district. Is this some sort of thing about getting anti-fuck South Canterbury? Anyway, fuck South Canterbury.
That'd be quite good from you, actually, if you put together your own geo-targeted podcast campaign.
Just make everyone hate North Otago.
Yeah. And that's any potential advertisers out there, that's what we can do.
Yeah.
With this podcast here, we can hyper-target regionally, we can geo-target.
Yeah.
So, get in touch.
Absolutely. We know so much about you listening that it's scary, the amount of targeting we can do. We can target, main household grocery shoppers. We can target, 35-year-old single mothers. We can target...
Can we?
Men who bat left-handed and bowl right-handed.
Go back to the single mothers one. How do you do that?
I'll show you after the show. But what ad are you going to put together? Hey, me and Rammer will be at the top of the...
I'll bring Rat and Hawk.
Rat and Hawk going to be at the top of the old express to Devonport on Friday afternoon if any 35-year-old single mothers again. No, I would just like to remind that call a couple of points. First of all, I fucking hate North Otago, so no, I'm not trying to advertise for them. And second of all, they're targeted to you, not to us.
Yeah.
So it's more a reflection of you. And if you are in North Otago, just bear in mind, you can always leave. There are brighter days ahead. You could go literally anywhere and it'll be an improvement, except for mid-Canterbury. Another caller here. Yours, please.
G'day, lads. Hoping you can point me in the direction of the reimbursement form on the ACC website. Was listening to the podcast on Thursday, Friday, and G Lane was making a lot of sense about Mike Tyson knocking Jake Paul out. Followed him in on that one quite heavily, and yeah, it's not going to be a good week. I'm on the 2-minute noodles, let's put it that way. Betting responsibly, of course. But yeah, just thought I'd flick it through and you guys can approve that and put the money back in my account. Anyway, hooroo.
No problem. Got great pipes, that guy. Look, there is a complaints form. It's not so much a refund form, but you can put your complaints together and send it to private bag 92198 Auckland. We'll deal with it how we please.
We won't uphold any of the complaints.
But look, I followed myself in on that one.
Yeah.
I just wanted a one part. It was actually my heart thinking with that one because I hated Jake Paul so much.
Yeah, it's what you wanted to see and then what you think will happen.
Yeah,
that's how I played it. I put $5 on the gone in 60 seconds one, which was paying $26, and then I put the house on Jake Paul by decision.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Tyson walk out with those chicken legs, I was like,
trip over.
Oh, God.
A couple of squats there, Mike. All right, another caller here. Yours, please.
G'day, Ratbags. Just following on from Mitchell Santner having a new nickname. I think Father Christmas, was it?
Yep.
I was wondering if we could help Australia out and do some work with Paul Rifle. Change it from the pistol. Pathetic, Australia. Pathetic. Maybe use Lee Harvey Oswald when he's upstairs in the box at the third umpire of the cricket. See ya.
So is he suggesting we rename Paul Rifle Lee Harvey Oswald?
Yeah. He's the umpire, right?
Yeah.
Paul Rifle?
Yeah. His nickname was Pistol, but obviously he was up in the he did us a solid in those test matches. He really was hating on the Indian team.
Oh, but as he should have.
Totally.
They were being wankers.
So
he's up in the Texas Book Suppository.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald. Lock it in. It's great. Is he? I mean, question without warning, but hopefully he's over here umpiring some of our games.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
He's a good umpire. He's a big unit.
All right, one last caller here. Yours, please.
Hi, G Lane. Back in the day, Waikato Games, Rugby Park.
Oh, God.
There was just 2 students in a cow suit being led round by another student. They were Mulu, could get a few students, chuck them in a camel suit for the sexy camel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was going somewhere else, actually, to be honest, because I was thinking about my days back in Waikato, going to Waikato Games, and I was like, oh, God, where's this going? With two men in a suit being led round, I'm like,
what did I do?
What did I do?
Is this the teenager I sold a cup of piss to?
A 4-pack.
They got their money's worth.
They got their money's worth of my piss.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. We've got to fight. I mean, I must admit, the cow suit, you could probably find one of those. You could probably go to First Scene and find a 2-man cow
Jono and Ben would have a camel suit, if anyone does.
It's true. It's dangerously uncomfortable being the back end. The front end's fine because you're standing up.
Yeah, you're getting all the love and adoration.
Yeah, and the back end, you've got to be hunched over. You've got to be like Olo Brown. You've got to straighten the back.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask, what's Angus Tarvell up to? Just get him to pop into a perfect straight back.
He's punishing me on a Sky TV ad at the moment is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll hit Gus up and see if he's happy to be.
Would
he fit in the back end of a camel?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, our quest for the camel continues. So even if it is a costume, it's a costume. I don't mind.
I'd like to just apologise. I've just realised I've massively dropped the ball on this. I work with I mean, I live with someone who's in the
zoo
industry here in New Zealand, and if anyone would know if there's a camel in New Zealand, she would. And I've fucking forgot to ask her. I haven't asked it.
How do they travel? I mean, I know they travel well across deserts and sand.
By caravan?
You're right.
What do you mean? Like how would you get one to...
Yeah, could we just get a horse float and hiff one in the back?
Fuck, it'd have to be it. Well, again, this person, my partner, has transported multiple giraffes around the place, so it can be done. They've got a horse float that can fit a giraffe in it. They'd fit a camel. Camels are a lot bigger than horses.
Yeah, but I guess getting a live camel into a stadium with lots of people might cause a few issues. They might get spooked.
Camels are pretty good. I know that over in Dubai they've got, because they do all the like desert tours. You can go out there. I've done it. Sit on the back of a camel with your missus and ride around, blah, blah, blah. It's so fucking uncomfortable on the back of a camel. Anyway, an issue that they're having over there is that they'll just set up their little tent thing and have their cultural night there. You go as a tourist. But they're set up in the same spot as all the dune bashers are. And so a problem they're having is dudes come flying over a dune and you've parked 6 of your camels there. So they're obliterating camels.
Well, also the camels, I saw the funniest shit in the Middle East when I lived there. You'd be driving along and there'd be a car in front of you with a trailer, and in it is a camel laid down and its head coming over the back looking at you out of the trailer, just a flat trailer, not like a big trailer. And I took a photo of it because I was like, this camel is it's tied down with tie downs. And it's just strops. And it's just looking out the back of this flat, just looking at it, and its lips are like, because it's on the back, its lips are flying everywhere. It's like, fuck, this place is weird.
And the funniest looking animals.
Fuck yeah. And they wander around the desert. Obviously some Bedouins look after them, but you'd be driving along and one will just be walking across the road. You're doing 180. And you don't want to hit a camel at 180.
God, no.
You clean the legs out, no problem.
Yeah.
But it's then the 1 ton upper body that squishes you.
Yeah, 100%. They are the funniest looking animals of all time, camels. You just see them standing on the side of the road eating a cactus. No worries.
Well, maybe...
Here's a text from my missus right now. She's coming and she's going to drop my bloody lunch off. That's how good she is. So I'll ask her if she knows of any camels.
I think we need to think a bit more laterally on this, because... Even if we do find a camel, I'm not unsure. We've done some stupid shit in some stadiums before, but I'm pretty sure they might veto the camel. So
we run a Trojan camel situation where we somehow try and drive it in the pretense. Do we say, hey, as a gesture of goodwill for Tim Southey's last ever game, we'd like you to allow us to bring the caravan back in, and inside the caravan we have a Bactrian camel from the deserts of the Middle East.
We have to rip the roof off the caravan.
Well, the roof's already ripped off.
Speaking of which, we're commentating chasing the fox from the caravan, and we've just had notification both the warrant and the rego have expired.
I know a guy. It'll piss him.
Okay.
But I will ask him if he thinks he could fit a camel in it.
Otherwise, like I said, maybe it's a stuffed camel. We've got a taxidermied camel anywhere.
Oh, yeah, just roll that in.
Yeah, and we can put that on casters. Otherwise, we might be having to go for the... Surely we can get some little blow-up camels.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure where from.
No, look sharp, probably.
Can we go to someone like Philip Morris, a cigarette company, and say, have you got any leftover camel merch that you can't get out there?
That's a good point.
Camel cigarettes.
There's a liquor store called Camel. Anyway, we're off into the weeds now.
Okay, yeah. Anyway.
Reach out, camel owners. If anyone out there knows of a camel, please get in touch. This is our one mission for the summer. Enjoy the rest of your sunny Tuesday. Hopefully it is sunny wherever you are. And we will be back tomorrow for a Wednesday episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.